breaking news.
Breaking.
Christian McCaffrey is out for the season. Again.
Hold on a second. That's breaking news.
Breaking news.
He's been out. I wasn't surprised. I don't know. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he would be out for the season over an ankle, but
do we know?
I guess the MRI came back with some tendon damage, and I guess based on, Christian's value.
Yeah, he's the highest paying running back, right?
Yeah.
My question is his... Remember when he had that quad injury?
He had a hamstring injury.
Hamstring, whatever. Was his hamstring and his ankle, was it on the same... Injury was on the same side?
No, it's a different leg.
Dang. He's just falling apart then.
It might be the same side.
Because if it's the same side, it would make sense if his ankle was weak, if his quad...
Or hamstring.
His hamstring was weak.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But in other Panther news, Cam came back.
Yeah. It was pretty... So we had high hopes. Cam coming back, but it's a tall order to learn a whole new system in a couple weeks and have rapport with your receivers. But I think a offensive coordinator kind of has to figure that out.
Is it a new offensive coordinator?
So really so Cam went like 5 for 21 or 5 for 22 this weekend. So basically didn't complete any passes. And I really think that, it's the offensive coordinator's fault for not adjusting his game plan when a team has you figured out. And now if that part of your playbook, didn't include Cam Newton, or Cam Newton didn't know that part of the playbook, then, you needed to put the person in that would be able to adjust. And if that meant putting PJ back in, then that should have happened sooner. But we basically, when Christian McCaffrey went out, we basically abandoned the run game completely. Matt had 5 rushes after that.
So my question is, are these same coaches, were they coaching him before he left?
No, so
okay.
Matt Rule was hired as the coach, and, they basically waited and let Cam go at an awkward time. Mm-hmm. Now, if they had let Cam go at an appropriate time, he would have had more chances to sign with other teams, but they had already gone through the draft. They really did Cam dirty at that time, which is basically what the concern was, right? That, but Cam swallowed his pride and came back to Carolina, even though Carolina kind of did him dirty. Mm-hmm. Which is the NFL, it's a business,
But obviously he was best for their business because they brought him back.
Yeah.
Or they asked, pleaded, begged for him to come back. And he won the first game that he played.
So...
Right?
Cam came back, PJ played most of the game, but they brought in Cam on scoring plays, basically.
Oh.
So he scored the first couple times he was in the game. And then, last week was the first time that Cam started. And he did really well, but we still lost. Mm-hmm. Right. And then this week, playing the Miami Dolphins, we basically got demolished. Like, the Miami Dolphins just destroyed us.
I fell asleep during the massive destruction. I was passed out. But I saw parts of it, and yeah, we were pretty boggled up.
But basically, I pretty much see it as the coaches are now fighting for their job, because they literally have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense.
And they're still not winning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they should
have kept
Rivera.
If they had kept Bridgewater.
No, they should have kept Rivera. That's where they started.
Well, see, that's why they got rid of Rivera, right? They got rid of Rivera because they were tired of being mediocre all the time.
I mean, didn't we go to the Super Bowl with Rivera?
Yeah, once.
Yeah, but before then, they hadn't been in the Super Bowl since like 1998 or something.
But the whole point was to not have mediocre seasons anymore.
Right.
And our season is more mediocre now than it's ever been.
Right. Well, they need to quit doing inconsistent stuff, I think. If they had consistency and went back to the basic plays, you know, and have fun, like when that's kind of what I saw when Cam came back. It's like it looked like everybody was ready to have fun again.
Yeah.
And then it looked like he was ready to have fun, but then I think he really does set the mood for the team. Like even before he set the mood for the team, even now he sets the mood for the team. So like if he's mad, everybody's mad.
Yep.
Or if he's not playing good, everybody's not playing good. He's a leader. He's gonna have to step, you know.
But literally, Miami is a blitzing defense, right? And you got Cam doing. So we hadn't ran the ball, right? So you got him doing, you know, play action pass when we haven't ran the ball against a blitzing defense.
Blitzing meaning they just attack.
Yeah, so so we have 5 people to block. They're bringing 7 or 8 people. They're bringing 7 or 8 people each time. But yeah, so the Miami Dolphins have a blitzing defense, and you can't. So the offensive coordinator can't design a game plan where you're doing 5 and 7 step drops against a blitzing defense. Like, of course, you're going to have multiple interceptions. Of course, you're going to have multiple sacks. You know, you take Christian McCaffrey out of the equation, you got nobody to throw it out of the backfield to.
Right.
You don't have, so Christian McCaffrey's a great blocking back as well. So you take him out of the game.
We're basically going to lose.
You know, that's a recipe for disaster.
So what do you think? We're going to do better or
And then what makes a good coach is the ability to
adapt with your players.
Is to adjust to what the other team is trying to do against you, right? So they're literally doing, you know, this option plays where you're doing a run pass option, and they're literally dumping it out in the flat 6 or 7 times in a row. Like, eventually you have to adjust your defense where you got somebody covering the flat and somebody covering the running back and make them do something else, something different. And that didn't happen. So, in my opinion, I'm blaming these losses on the coaching staff. Like, you have a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense, like, and you're not doing
something
well.
Needs to happen. They need to come together and make something happen.
So, in my opinion, they're not
studying the other teams well enough.
You know, I think we're 5 and 7. I think if we don't finish the season 10 and 7, then basically these guys are getting fired, in my opinion.
And then we're starting all over again.
You know, and that's not really what we want.
No.
I mean, it was bad enough to lose to Ron Rivera in Washington, who has a losing record, Miami, who has a losing record.
It's like they come in like overly confident or something.
You know,
I don't know.
Start the season 3-0.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They had to be coming in overly confident. And then just like letting their guard down and then score. And then they're like, oh, we can't win. Let's give up. Anyways, we have high hopes for the Panthers. We hope that they will do well. We will still support. We'll still like them, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We've supported them through all these years of, you know, failures. And we're going to keep supporting them until they do better, you know.
Through all these failures.
All these failures. I mean, really, the Carolina Panthers always have the talent to do it, right?
They just ain't doing it.
They just always fall short, and it's not as bad as being a Cowboy fan, but
might as well be.
But the Cowboys at least won the Super Bowl before, you know. So,
well,
at least we're not obnoxious, but anyway.
I don't know.
But yeah, Cam Newton's has come back. Hopefully he continues to learn the system. Hopefully they start calling some better plays for him and adjusting to what the defense is giving him. You know. And
yep. We win. Hopefully we win.
So hopefully we'll win out. You know, I know there's several good teams we're going to play. Tampa twice. We're going to play the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So you can bench your quarterback on the fantasy teams.
Who?
You, because you got Josh Allen. We're going to play the Bills.
Why?
Because he ain't going to do good. That's why.
We'll see what he's projecting.
Because we're going to lay the smack down.
We'll see what he's projecting. And I'll make my decision based off of that. I know I lost my fantasy this week. And I was doing really good. I was 8-3. So now I'll be 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had 150 points. And it was Sutton. Didn't Sutton not do good for me? Or Swift.
It's not that he didn't do good. He got injured.
Whatever. He didn't do good. He should have got back up and continued to get my points. Because, I mean,
let his brain bleed into his spine. It's
150 points is a lot to not win. The other guy got 170, and he wasn't projected to win. But he did because of Swift. But hopefully he feels better. But I'm going to take him out next week just in case, because I'm not trying to take any chances. Or if they say he's okay to play, then I'll then I'll evaluate the situation.
All right, so Nina Dobrev is back in Hollywood, back in action.
Oh yeah, what was that movie she was in?
So the movie that's went to #1 before The Rock's movie came out, it was called Love Hard. And we watched it. What do you think?
It was really cute. I'm glad she. Oh, did I look this up? She didn't have a baby.
I have no idea.
I don't think she had a baby, but she left Hollywood acting, because she was in Vampire Diaries. Mm-hmm. And then she started getting like smaller roles in Hollywood movies. Yeah. Like, dang. Totally escaped my mind. Was she in Transformers? Not Transformers. Dang, I don't know. Anyway, she was in smaller roles, playing like quirky roles. I do remember her in one movie. You probably don't remember.
So basically,
she was like a scientist.
Nina Dobrev is known for the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
She had an abrupt separation from the Vampire Diaries and has been out of movies and acting for a while.
What was abrupt about it? I think she wanted to leave because she wanted to go into Hollywood, like in movies. I don't think it was like any other issue besides that.
From my understanding, it was an on-set issue between her and one of the actors.
Really? Which one?
The one she was probably dating. And
Ian Summers?
Is the ex.
Damon?
Yeah.
Ian Summers? No, because they were together and then broke up, and they did like 2 or 3 more seasons together. Like, they are still friends. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that was it or not. We should have investigated this. But anyways,
but if you're going to be with somebody else and married to somebody else, you're sitting there kissing your ex on screen, like. But
that's what you get paid to do.
I understand that.
You wouldn't.
But you're going to choose your husband over that.
No, your husband shouldn't be upset that you're getting paid. You would get mad if I was bringing home that check.
Yes.
And I had to kiss somebody every day that.
If you had to kiss your ex, yes, every day.
Well, I didn't choose for him to be my ex.
That would be a problem. Yeah, you wanted to be with him.
He wanted to be with me too. Look, what's that even a real scenario? I'm just saying, that would mean you don't trust me.
Matter of fact, Ian's lucky he's alive. If they were actually.
I think Ian is alive.
Kissing.
Is a lot better looking than her current husband, like by far. But anyways, she looked really good. Mm-hmm. You definitely tell she aged, but the Vampire Diaries ended like 10 years ago. So,
I mean, I think she still looked like she's in her 20s. So,
she did. The movie was cute. It was a Christmas-ish movie about love and kind of like a Hallmark movie, and it was good.
I thought it was very comical, very hilarious.
It was.
In certain parts, I felt like it had the feels in certain parts.
Mm-hmm. Did I cry?
Right. Yeah, you cried several times.
No, just once.
No, at least twice.
No, maybe.
So. But it was kind of similar for me to Shallow Hal, where the premise of the movie is that the person that's really meant for you, that really knows you, that really cares about you, you may overlook
because of their looks.
Because of their looks, or in this case, the guy was Asian. And that may have caused certain people to overlook because they're a different race or whatever.
I think that was definitely implied in the movie. Yeah.
So I think that was
because they had a lot in common.
Oh yeah, I mean they were basically perfect for each other.
Yeah. And she's going to be doing another movie soon. I don't know if it's dropped on Netflix or not yet. I don't know, but like she's pumping them out, so she must have signed something with Netflix. And I'm not mad at it because I think she's a great actress. So yeah, definitely tune in and watch that.
But I give her performance a 10. She did a great job. The comedian Asian in that movie, do you remember his name?
I barely remember Nina's name. I call her Elena. I'm not sure. He's great. Look it up. Put his name out. Jimmy O. Yang.
Yeah, so Jimmy Yang is an Asian comedian, and
he definitely should be in acting too.
And he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I felt like he did a great job with this movie.
I definitely would love to see more of him in movies.
Yeah, for sure.
So
he plays that shorter, quirky character. And he definitely added the hilarious factor, in my opinion, to it.
Well, since we're talking about actresses, Megan Fox is also coming back into movies. We just watched one yesterday, Teeth Night? Night Teeth? Night Teeth? Night Teeth?
Which one was it?
Night Teeth. I'm pretty sure it was Night Teeth, where she had like a small cameo in it. That's also on Netflix. Like, very small role in that, but it was good. That movie was good. It actually had like a lot of well-known actresses and actors in it. For a screenwriter who is brand new, has only produced this movie. So I thought it was really good. And Megan Fox obviously looked great in it. Like some of these people I hadn't heard of.
So Night Teeth had Megan Fox, Alexander Ludwig, Affie Allen,
Debbie Ryan.
So
you skipped this whole section.
Yeah, these are the famous ones. These
Debbie Ryan is famous.
Okay, Debbie Ryan.
Dang.
What's she famous for?
She was in the series called Insatiable, also on Netflix. She's a Disney star as well. Okay. Alexander Ludwig is the guy from that movie that says no regrets that's tattooed on his chest. That's that guy.
Which one?
Him.
Oh, Alexander Ludwig, the guy from... He's from Vikings.
Also,
it's his main role.
That's not how I know him.
It's his main role is in Vikings.
That's not how I know him. Paul Castillo, I think that's what it says. Oh, Raul Castillo. He's in Queen of the South. The boyfriend did get shot. He get shot.
Anyway, so there were many.
The guy from Game of Thrones.
There were big names in this movie, and it came together pretty well.
Yep, I definitely recommend watching that. It's a vampire movie, but it's really good. Like, but we like vampire movies, so.
It's like, speaking of the Vampire Diaries.
Megan Fox was also in that other movie we watched.
Which one?
On Netflix, the one where the husband finds out that she's having an affair, and that one was wild.
That one was really good.
It was alright. It was okay, y'all. Dang, it only shows up as Night Teeth. Oh, Till Death.
Till Death.
That one was crazy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like, it was kind of unrealistic to me, but...
No, basically, Till Death, careful, for spoilers after this, but...
Yeah, there's spoilers. We're not telling you the whole movie or nothing. We're just going to tell you the premise real quick.
But basically, Megan Fox is, of course, having an affair.
Why, of course?
That's the role. That's the role they're gonna put her in. I
mean, but really though, if you think about it too,
the husband finds out.
The rich husband. The super rich husband.
And he
finds out that she's sleeping with his subordinate.
Right.
Who's not even cute, by the way. I don't know what they thought about what they were doing with that role.
Someone willing to touch Megan Fox.
Like, for real. I mean, I would have volunteered to be that role. Shoot. Anyways.
But, yeah, so...
Anyways.
So basically, he sets it up where the person that raped Megan Fox can get revenge on Megan Fox after he kills himself.
It's wild.
So
she's dragging this man around the whole house. I don't know.
Honestly, the only thing that I thought was stupid was that, because the first thing I would do is I would just break my hand.
To get out of the handcuffs.
And get out of the handcuffs.
So that you could be free. I mean, he had this whole thing planned out. Like,
he had no gas.
She didn't have any gas.
No phone.
No phone. He cut the phone lines. He got rid of her cell phone. Like, it was some crazy, psychotic mess.
Like, legitimately, the only thing she could have done. I see the lake was frozen over, so she couldn't have. What she had to do, she had to take the gas from the boat and put it into the car so she could get away.
While her rapist, who just got released from jail, was after her.
Right.
It's just crazy. Watch it. Go ahead and watch it. Make sure you have a nice drink while you're watching it, because I had about 2 or 3 of them, 3 drinks.
But I felt like that movie was about a 7 out of 10. To be honest, it was good. It kept you watching. It was gory like you like.
No, it's not how I like.
Or like I like.
But yeah.
But Night Teeth was definitely better for sure.
But that is star.
And then Love Hard with Nina Dobrev was better than all, but the best one.
Yeah, if that came out in the movie theater, we would have definitely gone to see that.
So
for sure.
Speaking of the movie theaters.
Speaking of
GhostBusters. Anyway,
we saw Ghostbusters.
So Ghostbusters tops the chart in movie theaters, 82 million its first weekend.
Really?
Beating out King Richard.
See, I liked King Richard.
But King Richard was streaming on HBO Max.
Ghostbusters.
So Ghostbusters was number 1 at the box office. What'd you think?
I'm not even going to give, I don't want to do any spoiler alerts or anything, but that movie had me crying. That kind of cry where you can't catch your breath type of cry. Anyways, I really thought it was very well done.
Bawling like a baby.
Snots, everything. Bubble snots. But I really thought, I like the Ghostbusters original movies, and I was like, how are they going to make this movie come anywhere close to being as good? And they did. they're just as good as the other movies, and they did a great job with like trying to find a different angle. And
number one, this Ghostbusters, and it's called Afterlife, right? It tied into the old movies, right? So they had footage from the old movie tying into this movie, right?
Yep.
So, and then they paid homage to the old movies, you know, so that made it, you know,
very good.
Right. So,
they had some big actors and actresses in it, like obviously the Paul Rudd, which, side note, is supposed to be the most sexiest guy of 2021. But who voted for that? Because I didn't get a survey. I'm just saying. Like, I think he's a great actor. He basically plays the same roles in every movie, kind of like, what's that? Ryan Reynolds plays the same character in every movie. But guess what? I'll see those movies because I like them both. But I just don't see how. Someone could claim that he's the sexiest man alive. They must have polled.
Let's say unless certain people can't get it 2 years in a row, it doesn't make any sense, you know.
What?
Because who is 2020's sexiest man?
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Wasn't it Michael B. Jordan?
He was one of them. I think he was either 20. There was I'm pretty sure he was 2020.
So it's like, unless he can't get it like 2 years in a row.
I just want to know who they polled. I just want to know who they polled.
Right.
Like, did they? Because I'm sure they.
It was like between this guy and like the Penguin.
Damn. No. I think they polled just a bunch of people that went to see movies, like mothers. Like, because I feel like mothers would be the ones to think. Paul Rudd
I mean, they're
sexy.
definitely.
I saw on TikTok, side note again about Paul Rudd. He was up against Captain America. Some girl got stopped, and there was like a TikTok, and they were like, "Yeah, so if you could sleep with Paul Rudd or the guy from who's Captain America, which one would you pick?" And they didn't know that they were like behind the corner. And she goes, "I would pick Paul Rudd because he's sexy, and he was in Clueless." And then they both pop out, and they're like. You know, he's like, "Oh, okay." And they start talking, and the guy's like, "Excuse me, Captain America, you need to get your own space, get your own room. You're not in this anymore." And I'm just like, who would pick Paul Rudd over Captain America? I'm not really sure. But anyways, Paul Rudd was in it. He did good, I guess. I don't know if they just needed like another like person who was well known to be in it.
Yeah, so he was the well-known face for sure. Because
he
was also funny too. So
yeah, he was funny. Like I said, I like him. He's funny.
He's comic relief in most things, like Ryan Reynolds is, right? So, and
the little kids are one of the kids was from Stranger Things. The other one, the girl, is a singer, and she's also in a couple movies.
So the Stranger Things kid probably got, you know, the younger generation to, you know, to come out. Yeah. Honestly, when we saw it, it was definitely the packest theater that we had been in.
Since 2020.
You know, since the pandemic started. So, I'm just happy people are going to the movies again, really.
I mean, you know? I am, but I still like my private theater. But anyways... It was good. Definitely go see it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
All right. What'd you think of King Richard?
I liked King Richard. And maybe I like those kind of like real movies that are about real events. And I mean,
based on true stories.
Based on a true story. I like that. I think Will Smith, after like, at the end of the movie, they do
they show
like real
videos,
interviews or like real videos
that the movie was based on.
And Will Smith, spot on.
I was actually very impressed with the girls that were playing Serena Williams and Venus Williams.
Oh yeah,
because their mannerisms were exactly like
The footage
that they showed at the end. Mm-hmm. So that was very impressive to me, being, I don't know how old those girls are, but...
They're great actresses. I'd never seen them in a movie before.
So they did wonderful. Mm-hmm. Like I say, the story of Venus and Serena Williams...
is inspirational already.
Right. But the thing that made their dad so impressive is that, most parents would have thrown their kids to the wolves, and he actually pulled both of his kids out of junior tennis, which at that time was how you were known in the tennis world. Mm-hmm. Right? To be able to go pro and all that stuff. And for him to do that was very controversial.
But he did the right thing for his kids.
Right. So they both know 4 different languages. They both had A's in school. Like,
their values were good.
So but to me, if there's athletes to look up to,
it's Venus and Serena.
Venus and Serena. I mean, absolutely, they are both class acts, and you can tell that was,
instilled in them.
Yeah, instilled in them from a young age.
But what I didn't know after going back and doing research is that I really didn't know that Venus and Serena weren't the first kids of Richard.
Right, so he had already had a previous marriage that had messed up, that had failed.
And he had nothing to do, from what my understanding was, after he divorced or didn't continue to be with the mother of his other children, he left and he didn't have any communication with that set of children. He has like 11 kids.
Right.
So it almost to me was like not a redemption story, but like people are so I saw, long story short, I saw an article that said his other kids came forward and said Venus and Serena's new movie King Richard only shows half of what the real story is. Not really. It shows Venus and Serena's perspective of their father and the influence their father had on their lives, not necessarily hit the other kids' lives.
Right.
Because they obviously weren't around during that time of their life.
Right. So
you could definitely tell Venus and Serena love and adore their father and credit 90%, if not 100% of their success to both their mother and their father.
Right.
So if his other kids want to come out with a King Richard story or a sequel about their experience, or they want to write a book, go ahead and try. I mean, somebody will read it. But give him Venus and Serena, the whole point of that movie was to give respect and credit that was due to their father and their perspective of their father, which obviously they think of their father as the king of the house. Mm-hmm. He made all the decisions. He pointed them in the right direction. Like, it was a great movie. I'm just gonna keep saying that, and it made me realize too, like, what was it, early 2000 when we looked it up, that Venus and Serena actually played each other and how big of a deal that was. Like,
big time.
Like, I had no idea that I was watching history. I really didn't. Like, in 2000, how old was I in 2000? 20 years ago? 11, 12, 13, something like that. Like, I didn't realize at that time how big of a deal that was. So, watching that movie and putting it in perspective at the time that I was in that moment when the movie took place, I was like, wow.
Right.
Anyways, didn't mean to go on a big tangent, but I loved it. Go see it. I love Will Smith. Will Smith is one of my favorite actors of all time. He just does great, and he can play diverse roles. Like, he's one of those actors that can do that are very. They become like the character they're supposed to be. Right. Like, he just embodies it. And you don't even know that he was Men in Black or whatever other character he's supposed to play. Like, you don't think of the other roles that he's played while you're watching the current movie that you're watching with him in it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely a top 10 actor of all time.
For sure. Go see it.
From playing Muhammad Ali to, now Venus and Serena's dad to the movie where he was super poor, raising a kid in a city, homeless.
Mm-hmm. Hitch.
Yeah, Hitch, funny, comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's got not generations, but decades of
I mean, kind of generations.
Of good movies. Right.
Yep.
All right, and the last one.
What?
The Rock movie. Remember what it's called?
No. It had Wonder
Reynolds.
Woman in it, Ryan Reynolds.
Red Notice.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have got that. So Red Notice.
All right, so now, what about Red Notice?
I mean, they had top 3 actors in that movie. They had The Rock.
Gal Gadot.
Who?
Gal Gadot.
Okay. You said her name really fast.
Wonder
and Ryan Reynolds. So to me, I was a little disappointed in the movie. Especially like
with those 3, you have very high expectations.
I did.
So for the movie not to be a 10 out of 10...
was very disappointing.
Right. But I think it was really just it wasn't really the actors, it was really the script.
It was.
Right.
But there's I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but I called something in the very beginning that it ended up being true. So I already predicted the whole movie like within the first 10 minutes.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just, like I said, they were entertaining to watch. Gal is obviously gorgeous, and I liked seeing her play like a badass character. Like, obviously Wonder Woman is badass, but I mean like a badass character. Like, she wasn't the
Goody Two-Shoes role.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to save the world or anything. So I kind of liked her in that role, and you could see her play it very well. What did you think?
So, Ryan Reynolds is definitely known for his comedic relief, his sarcasm.
Right.
You know.
For sure.
But in this particular movie, like...
It was overkill.
They overkilled it, right?
Mm-hmm. I knew where you were going with that.
So... You know,
it was still funny.
It was funny, but it took away from the movie. Like, certain parts of the movie needed to be, like, more serious. And
then it was like, they did, like, a funny joke after funny joke. Like, there was no, like, break in between. Everything was just funny joke, scene. Funny joke, scene. Like, it was just too much.
Right. So it took away from the movie, but... You know, I like the history that was in the movie. You know, from Egypt and all that stuff. That was great. Cleopatra, of course.
Yeah.
You know, so I liked all that.
What would you give it? 6?
I'd probably give it a 7. 7 out of 10.
Mine would be like a 6.
Because, I mean, it's still an action movie. It still had good fight scenes. The fight scenes were good. You know.
Yeah. They were.
So, 7 out of 10 for me.
That's on Netflix as well.
Yeah, that was everything but Ghostbusters is a Netflix movie, or HBO Max. You know, so.
We like movies, so we go see movies a lot. Moving back. What?
Hocus Pocus 2.
Is that real?
Started filming last week with Bette Midler.
I saw that on
Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Oh, so the original cast
is back.
Back together. Terrorizing them streets.
I think her name is Is it Thelma Birch or Thorna Birch, the little girl? Is she going to be in it too?
I don't know if she's going to.
Because I haven't seen her in a movie in a long time either.
Right,
she was a really good actress.
It didn't say she was in it. But.
I think it's Thorna. I'll have to look it up. Anyways.
So they're the Sanderson sisters.
I'm super pumped if that's real. Because there was a time period years ago where people were posting like pictures and saying Hocus Pocus 2 is coming, and it never did. And then it was like a hoax. So I'm hoping like this isn't just a bad photo, like a really good Photoshop picture of them like on set or something.
Right.
Like a part of me feels like it's gonna be like.
But see, this makes sense, right? Because this is our generation. You know,
we're paying to go see the movies.
We're paying to go see movies, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something that we would go back and see.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's just like Top Gun. Like people have been waiting for the sequel of Top Gun forever. People have been waiting.
Oh, James Bond movies and stuff like that.
You know.
Well, there's multiple of those, but.
So people have just been waiting. So like, what was another one that just sequeled for the first time after a long time? Anyway.
Not Clifford. Damn. We saw Clifford too.
But there's many movies that they never made a sequel to.
That they are now making a sequel.
They're now making a sequel because that generation's grown up. And we've all wanted a sequel for so many years. It's like a done deal that's going to be a hit, right?
It is for sure.
So. So I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm happy that they got the three main actresses back together. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it'll bring witchcraft back to the scene.
Witchcraft has been back in the scene.
Not that kind of witchcraft.
Oh, what kind of witchcraft?
I don't know. Cool witchcraft.
Anyways. I'm seeing it. I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to see it, so.
All right. Dababy. Get out my house. I'm calling the police.
Please let me.
So, Dababy calls the cops on baby mama. Trying to get her to leave.
I don't know if this is still relevant.
Thoughts?
Is it still relevant?
It's still relevant, don't matter.
Okay. I already forgot about it, so.
Alright, so now we're gonna start talking about real estate laws, right? You have a roommate. You don't have a lease for the roommate. Guess what? You can't just kick the roommate out.
Yeah, technically, you're right, yeah.
You have to serve an eviction on the roommate, go to court, give a reason for why you're kicking them out. So the baby had no legal ground to stand on to get rid of the baby mama.
At all, because she wasn't even like being physical. There was no altercation on her end. Like all she was trying to do was talk to him and breastfeed her baby or whatever, or feed her baby and their baby. And he was just talking junk to her.
The only logical conclusion would have been for him to leave, right?
But he was with all his friends and he was dogging her. But the thing is, and I'm not blaming her at all, but it's just sad because she knew what he was like before then.
But it's just something to think about for people that let somebody move in with you. Like, you let somebody move in, you can't just kick them out. They have rights under state laws. And honestly, if this was still during COVID, they weren't letting anybody do any evictions. So you would have been stuck with old baby mama all through 2020 if this had been in the middle of 2020.
For sure.
You know, at least now you can evict her and move on.
I haven't followed back up with that to see what the outcome was.
I think it was just a publicity stunt to get attention.
But it's
so now the baby mama is famous.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say, that's pretty bad attention for him, but...
Yeah, I mean, for him, he doesn't care. You know, all attention's good attention for him, so...
Which he's already been under controversy with his controversial statements he's made about, like, the LGBTQ and the bathroom bill and all this stuff. So, I feel like he's not doing right by himself, but...
So, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson romancing each other.
Supposedly, they are dating, supposedly.
Thoughts?
I'll be long story short, I think that her sister Courtney was getting a lot of the attention because of Travis Barker. And she was like, oh, I one up you because I'm dating somebody, no offense to Travis. I'm going to be dating Pete Davidson, somebody who's actually relevant right now. I love Travis. I just think he's not relevant right now.
Blasphemy!
I don't know. Pete Davidson is relevant right now. So...
I mean, literally Travis Barker is like the name behind all these artists that are coming out with music now, though.
That's true.
He's like the producer.
Yeah.
And they're all signing to his label.
But we don't know that as consumers, I feel like.
Right.
But
he's really like the big boss, right? He's like P. Diddy, right? Where P. Diddy's just sitting back making all the money, or Jay-Z's just sitting back making all the money.
Must be the money.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
But still a big name, right?
I want Kim to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because she deserves that.
You think that's why she removed her butt implants?
That would be really interesting. There's a theory that she removed her butt implants, her and Chloe.
Or do you think they might have been making them sick or something?
Their BBL. I don't think so. They've had it for 10 years. Like,
yeah, so eventually stuff like that starts leaking, right?
I don't know. BBLs are different because it takes fat from parts of your body and injects it into your butt. It's like not an implant. So
they didn't have implants, they had BBLs.
That's why, yeah, when that show, that episode on Keeping Up with the Kardashians where she's like, people think my butt is fake. I'm going to prove them wrong. And she actually gets a plastic surgeon to like tell the world on the episode that she doesn't have implants in her butt. It really was a BBL.
Right.
Because it's natural.
So she just had it reduced?
She's taking your fat into... Yeah, so I think she's just had it reduced.
They had liposuction of their butt or something? Mm-hmm. Get rid of it.
Which is scary to a lot of people because it's the end of the big butt era. Whereas people like me who thrived during that era... we're scared that skinny butts are going to be in again. But trends come, trends go... But that might be a reason why, because maybe that wasn't her. Now she's going after a different genre of men.
But honestly, like, that look is not realistic for most women, right?
No, it's not. It's not realistic at all.
And
that's
it's very unsafe. You know, there are dangers to surgery, like...
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know...
That's one of the most dangerous surgeries because there's like a vein or something they said. But anyways, yeah, they say BBLs are like one of the most dangerous surgeries. So, I mean, I think they're cute together. Whether or not they're together, they're having fun. You can clearly see Kim look happy. But I mean, she also, and they try to like go through and like show clips of her and Kanye. I really think that she was happy with Kanye too. It just got to a point where they couldn't control what Kanye said. And like, it was, you know what I mean? Like, he's his own person. Like, he's always been opinionated, but maybe that he's been holding back since being with Kim.
Right.
Because now he's like, I don't know, something triggered him to start really telling people how he feels. But I just saw an article that said that, you know, he wants to get back with his family, so you really just don't know what to believe. What do you think?
Well, I think they're putting out that Kanye is crazy, right? Because Kanye is pointing out flaws in the system, right? So Kanye and Kim's mission is both to help people that have been falsely accused and put in prison falsely, and help them fight their case, get their case reopened, and actually get these people removed from jail, you know, when they've been falsely accused. And, you know, that mission, you know, goes against the establishment that, you know, the justice system is just, you know, that people that do bad things, they go to jail. You know, even if what they got put to jail for wasn't what they actually did, they're being put in jail for something they had previously done and got away with. You know, stuff like that, where, you know, all that stuff is wrong. Like, if you're innocent, you should be innocent until you're proven guilty without a shadow of a doubt. Like, it should be very difficult in the United States to put someone in prison for a long time.
Right.
You know,
without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt that somebody did something, like.
So
like
what's your point though with Kanye?
So that's what they're doing, right? So really,
that's what Kim is doing.
Kim is working with him doing that, right? Like, that's their mission together.
Maybe.
So even if they're not together, like, they're still together because that's their mission.
Well, and they also have kids, so together.
Yeah, and they have kids together, but you know, I think it's very impressive, you know, that Kim, you know, is a lawyer, right?
But you were saying, like, her being a lawyer
is very impressive. It changes the whole outlook of her, right? Because her, you know, she's basically this woman that blew up because of a sex tape. And that's been her persona, like a sex appeal, not I'm an intelligent, beautiful woman.
Which she is.
Right? But that's just not how the media portrays her, right?
Right.
That's not how they want her to be seen.
Just like Paris Hilton.
Right.
Paris Hilton played this whole ditzy
party
girl, but she's actually very intelligent.
At least business-wise, right? You know.
So, yeah, the media in Hollywood want to spin her a certain way. So, yeah, it would be very impressive if she passed the bar, which... Anyways, I'm not sure if she's really dating Pete Davidson, if they're really together. I don't think it's been 100% confirmed.
Yeah, so they haven't come out and said, oh, we're dating.
Right.
Right now, they're just hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
Because they met at...
Pete's got to get the balls enough to ask, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Want to deal with all that craziness.
But a part of me thinks that Pete is crazy, though, so it might work.
It works for his image. That he's
for
crazy.
his image. But I don't know.
But he may not actually be psycho enough to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that... I'm just not convinced that they're together. Like, together. I think they're hanging out, but I think people want something else to kind of, like, distract themselves from whatever they're going through, like reality. So they want that to happen because it's almost like a...
my thing is,
it's almost like a Courtney and Travis.
What has
thing.
Pete Davidson got? Because wasn't he with like Ariana Grande before that?
They say he's got a big thing.
Okay.
And that's what he's got.
That's all he's got.
No, I mean, he's funny. They think he's funny and stuff, but he's got a big thing.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that, you know, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, old news, haven't really heard much about them since, you know, their quick videos. So they're old news, but that's an unusual relationship. Courtney and Travis, they had their thing. They're getting, you know, had a marriage proposal, you know. So I think this is just another publicity stunt to get Kim in the limelight because her sister is stealing it. And her other sister, Kylie, is dating Travis. Well, I don't know if they're dating, but she's having a baby with him, another baby with him. Right. Travis Scott. And their whole Astroworld situation, like, there's just a lot of things happening conveniently to distract us from bigger pictures, like Astroworld. Like you said, should he be...
So what happened? What happened in Astroworld?
I mean, I'm pretty sure like 11 people died during his concert, and he just kept performing basically through the death. So there's a lot of controversy.
So the question is an artist that's performing on stage responsible for fans that may be overdosing in the crowd or doing drugs or being trampled on? Or
I think the whole point was, I think with his situation or the concert situation, there's a lot of hearsay, meaning like there were people that said that he was encouraging the rioting. He was encouraging people to to squish in the front, and that's unsafe. That's unsafe behavior. Right. So he was, and he's also been known.
But he's been doing that forever,
right? And
it's not like it's a new thing,
right? But in the past, those people have also gotten hurt. So he's been responsible for people getting hurt in the past.
So you as a fan know that, right? Is it not your responsibility to take care of yourself?
I mean, my ass is going to be in the back anyways.
Right. You ain't paying for the high class.
I'm not paying, no. Unless they have seats and there's like a clear separation of like here's 30 seats for you to sit in the front, like, and these people aren't able to jump the bar to get to my section, then that's it. But these people were getting trampled, and I mean, I just wouldn't personally go to a concert like that and seeing like younger kids being injured because it's their first concert and their parents don't investigate to know that this is what happens at these type of concerts. It's also heartbreaking as well, but there's a lot of conspiracies about it. The conspiracies meaning like he was supposed to, as part of a ritual, like for him to kill a number of people. This is just hearsay, conspiracy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I believe it or not, but to like get him to push into further, he had to like do a blood sacrifice because he sold his soul to the devil for fame. Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's just wild that Kylie's there, Kendall, and his daughter was there at the concert, and he's still, you know what I'm saying? People were like, "Well, you weren't worried about your wife and kids." Well, yeah. Like, I want my wife and kid to be escorted safely, like, out of the premise, and my baby mama's sister, but. Like I said, I don't know. So people were also mad about that, is that he catered more to his family than his fans. And
which
it's
I think most people would. So you can't really hold that against him. And then they were showing clips of other artists at concerts that were like completely stopping the concert. And to me, this is me just asking. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but like at what point do you not... You know, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. While you're performing, you're going to be spotting out who's overdosing in your crowd or who's being trampled on. Like, I don't think so. Like, that's hard. That's what the ushers are for. That's what the cops that are there doing security are for. Like,
you know, they were stopping the crowd. I mean, if it's like right in front of you, like, and you see
like
it.
if you saw it in the first 2 rows like that, yeah, stop it. You know, I understand, but past that with the lights blinding you,
how
like,
you can't see.
You know, what can you see? So.
I mean, but there are clips which, again, it's all up to interpretation of Travis Scott. I mean, he really didn't. He apologized while he was eating his burger or whatever he was eating about, you know, how, I don't know how sincere of an apology it really is, but you could hear the audience pleading with him to stop the concert. Like, you could hear it. It's very.
Saying that somebody put audio over that, you know, I don't know.
Who knows?
I have no idea.
It's just sad all around because it's like now they're making things that I didn't think were
we were
think
already
about
lucky
before.
Enough to have concerts back.
Right. So like I'm saying, things I didn't think about before, now I think about. Like going to a concert because I might die, get trampled by people who can't stay in their lane.
You can't even conceal carry at a concert, so it's like very unsafe.
Right. Go into a parade, like thinking someone's gonna just maul through the crowd. Like that stuff is, yes, it happens, but why is it happening? It shouldn't be. It's just setting the scene for me to be scared to go do fun things. COVID, same thing.
I'm saying maybe that's the agenda, right?
Right, because they're clearly pushing that. I mean, that's
pushing
what it's,
the
that's
fear
what it's
agenda.
Fear.
Fear is what drives voting. Fear is what drives people to do the behavior that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. It's just sad.
So I really think that's the agenda they're pushing.
Yeah. I just hope that Travis Scott is sincerely apologetic for what happened, even though he may not be fully responsible, may or may not be. I hope that he is sincerely apologetic for that, and it wasn't a devil.
I really think if he had known that he would have stopped the concert. You know, they didn't say, "Oh, well, this person died in the front row. This person died on the third row."
Well, and there was also a conspiracy that someone was going around shooting people up with heroin.
With needles, yeah.
Like walking past people and injecting them.
Just injecting them, yeah.
Because, that's what a security guard said that happened to him. But who knows? Like I said, who knows what really happened?
I'm just saying, how are these people getting in with it? Like, every concert I go to, you go through metal detectors, they check your bags, like...
But that's the same thing. Women are sneak stuff in their chest area, and so it could have been like the same situation, which is crazy that people wanted, like, you're paying all this money for a ticket and you don't want to remember it. Like, you want to shoot up drugs and not remember? Like, that's wild to me. Or you want to get so drunk that you don't even remember? Like, there's a certain point, you know, where you should stop. Like, that's not fun. But
yeah, there's definitely a line where it goes from fun to not fun, for sure.
Right.
But
so, back to our whole original thought process is that you're seeing, it's interesting to see what these women were dating, meaning Megan Fox, Megan Fox, Kourtney Kardashian, and now Kim Kardashian. It's interesting to see that, what are they doing, like skinny white boy trend? Like, now the skinny white boy trend is in. So now, you know, you gotta lose like 500 pounds, Nate, so you can look like Travis. And then get tattooed up so you look like...
Girl, I lost half a pound over Thanksgiving, thank you.
And I found it. But anyways, I'm not in with the skinny boy trend. But if they want to push that, cool. I'm happy for them. I hope that they're all happy. And
so speaking of the non-skinny boy trend, Shawn Rhoden.
Don't know who that is.
Mr. Olympia 2018, Shawn Rhoden.
Okay.
46 years old, died of a heart attack.
Sad.
So he goes along with big names. He goes along with big names like Rich Piana.
R.I.P. Rich.
Dallas McCarver.
Don't know who that is.
George Peterson. And just recently, Luke Sandow. Luke Sandow was only 30.
That's sad. So all of these people died? from heart complications or something.
Heart problems. Should the Mr. Olympia brand and the NPC do something to force bodybuilders to take care of their health?
I mean, you think what their routine is doing is, I mean, as an outsider, not someone that doesn't know much about bodybuilding, like, you think that that's healthy. What they're doing is healthy.
So bodybuilding is an extreme sport, right? You're pushing your body to an extreme level of body fat.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. But to do that, you know, a lot of people are taking steroids, right? Taking growth hormone and injecting other substances into their body to block estrogen, to increase their metabolism, you know, stuff like that. I just say say pre-workout stimulants that people take before they go work out. If you do that for a long period of time, that's bad for you. Basically, anything you do that's not in moderation is bad for you, right?
Right.
So normal people that eat too much and don't work out, you know, the eating too much is bad.
Right.
You know, but a person that, you know,
and that
has
can
a
stop
burger,
your heart too.
has a burger once a week or has a pizza once a week, you know, your body can adjust and adapt to stimulus, right? Mm-hmm. So, but there's a certain point where your body breaks.
So you're saying, do you think okay, so I feel like I know somebody that builds professionally, and when they did that, I've seen them post that they're at the doctor or they're getting blood work taken like once a week. Right. So like, is that not something that's a standard in bodybuilding? Like to go to the doctor? That's
what I'm saying. Should it become a standard?
But is that not our... That's what I'm saying. Is that not our...
Most bodybuilders are broke. Standard? They don't have health insurance. Like, should that be something that... So if you're like a top 20 person in the world, should the Olympia brand come together and give you health insurance?
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but are they going to make money to do that? Like, is that their responsibility?
The Mr. Olympia brand makes millions of dollars a year.
Does like sports do that?
Yeah.
They provide healthcare for their
athletes, yeah.
Oh, well then that should be a standard, I feel like. And
it's just like, should it be just be like any other profession, right?
Well, yeah. I guess, are they not considering it a sport?
Yeah, it's a sport. But it's so the difference between bodybuilding and say baseball or football is that it's subjective, right? So who they choose to win is subject to the person that's judging the physique, the judges, right?
Right.
Kind of similar to like wrestling. The WWE champion is chosen to be champion.
So what do you think? Should they or no?
No, I don't think that they should. I think it is something that should be talked about at every show.
Like awareness.
Awareness. It should be like an awareness campaign, not a force you to have our health insurance and go to the doctor and...
But I mean,
I think giving health insurance is a good idea. You know, it's something that would cause more people to go into your brand.
But I mean, right? With all these people like dying, dropping dead, is there going to be anybody that's competing?
I say there already is a lot less people competing at the bodybuilding level. Right?
I mean, would you?
So the Olympia brand has so many categories now that you don't necessarily have to be in that extreme category of like being a bodybuilder like Shawn Rhoden, where you're 5'9", 5'10", 260 pounds, 280 pounds.
Well, if I knew what I was doing was extreme,
but the problem
I would not participate.
Is that the winner now, Big Rami's 310 pounds on stage, less than 6% body fat.
That's like impossible.
Well, so it's like super impressive, right? It's almost like
unnatural for sure.
Well, you
unattainable.
Unattainable. You go to the bodybuilding shows to see a freak show, right? To see someone that is just above and beyond anything that you can imagine.
For sure.
Right, and that is.
Or I just go for the work, like to see how hard they've worked. I like to see a before and after.
That is the current Mr. Olympia, right? He is the above and beyond everyone by a lot.
Right, so now people are going to have to do a more above and beyond things in order to beat him and to obtain better than what he has.
Whereas the Olympia could have taken the role of, well, we want more symmetry. We want, because bodybuilding is not
standards.
They could change their standard, right?
And they haven't.
Right. And that started this started in the 90s, right?
We've all evolved though since the 90s. Like we are all different since
bodybuilders have just become bigger and bigger and bigger. But then what
they've
really
come out with more and more drugs to make you look a certain way.
Really what they've tried to do is they've tried to open up more categories because social media basically made people millionaires without being bodybuilders. Right? So it took people away from the sport so like Bradley Martin is a millionaire, multimillionaire, but he's not a bodybuilder.
But he takes care of his body.
But he probably takes steroids on a regular basis.
Does he like to compete or does he like money?
No, so he never competed. He competed like one time.
So he wanted to make money a different way. Like, is it about making money or is it about recognition?
Well, see, it's a career.
Depends.
Right? It's a career, so your career is always about making money.
Right, but if you can make more money safely and do your own YouTube, then you're going to choose that over competing.
That's right.
So you can live a little bit longer.
But then you have people like Rich Piana, who tried to compete for so long, didn't ever win, never became a pro, but was still taking steroids for 25 years.
Because he had that image.
And to give him the image that he wanted so that he could
build his brand,
be famous and be rich and live the lifestyle that he wanted.
That's it.
Right? And he died early. But he clearly came out and said, this is my choice. I know I could die early from this.
He sure did. So just maybe more awareness at the shows. Maybe they have a doctor and the doctor has a booth or something for people who are interested in doing bodybuilding. Maybe you think that would help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I agree with that. It's a shame that those people died.
But yeah, Dallas McCarver was like 25. Like I said, Luke Sandow was 30.
And they know that it's related to drugs?
No, they just know most of it is heart attacks. So it's either from stimulant or from oversized hearts from steroids, liver issues, from processing the drugs. When obviously you can be 300 pounds without drugs. Of course, I'm not shredded like they are, but
What'd you find though? But that was an interesting conversation.
So prayers for all those men's families. But there's people that are going to do those extreme things to be a winner and do whatever it takes anyway.
Right.
So it's really, to me it would be better to change the standard.
Yeah. But somebody can outdo that too. Because they're still in that mindset.
They can give more weight to symmetry.
Or being natural. Why do we have to have steroids? Like, why can't we go to more of a natural building?
So, like, Ronnie Coleman became a professional bodybuilder naturally. But when he got into the actual pro scene, he was finishing like 12th, 15th.
Right. So why are we doing?
Because
is there more money in steroids? Like, why are we doing steroids? Why are they allowing steroids? Why are they allowing?
Basically, is what it really does is it lets them get more shredded.
But what I'm saying
it lets
is,
them maintain the muscle mass.
Why is the company allowing them to take those measures? Like, why are they allowing?
Because the product is better, or is deemed better.
Well, they say that.
Right.
It's still sad though.
And it's always been a cult sport, anyway. But you know, when the issue of steroids came around, that's when they stopped having bodybuilding on ESPN and stuff like that out of the mainstream. So to me, they could actually make more money by getting rid of the steroids.
Right.
But
then it would be more accepted onto.
But your product is not going to be.
Meaning the look?
As impressive.
Well, yeah, because it's natural.
Yeah.
That's why I like going to the all-natural bodybuilding competition that we have here in Morehead City. You should come.
Yeah, we go and watch the AMBF support the American Natural Bodybuilding Federation.
Mm-hmm. Our friends are usually in it, so.
You know, and, you know, natural is not, but there's still people that are impressive, people that are 55 years old and just monsters. Mm-hmm. Naturally monsters, you know. And
that's a lot of hard work and genetics mix.
But, like I say, there's people that are normal sized people that are taking steroids just to be lean. You know, taking TRT therapy to get their testosterone up to 900, 1,000. Instead of, you know, these bodybuilders, they're getting their testosterone up to 2,000. You know, double what's normal. You know, and that's not safe for your body. It's not safe for your heart. No. So I could see where they could do something like that, where they could limit what your testosterone could be. Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe
that
would
require them to have tests.
And then they'd have to pay for testing, which is the bigger problem. So.
Yeah, but if they cared or if they wanted to.
But as long as the money's flowing.
And people are willing to do it, then.
And people are willing to do it, they're going to keep doing it.
Right.
You know? So
we'll see in the years to come.
And I'm Nate.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is the So What You Want to Talk About podcast.
So, what you want to talk about?
Make sure you like,
comment,
subscribe,
tag a friend,
send the video to somebody.
All the other things there is to do, just do it. Ring the little bell and subscribe.
Make sure you check out London and the Googly Goo. Available on Amazon.com. Written by the lovely Meredith Dillon. Make
sure you check out Ensorsale. I'm rocking an Ensorsale sweater or zip-up coat. It's very cool. I love it. It's on Ensorsale.
We actually just made that. It's not up on the website yet. So you can't.
But if you like it,
we will put this up for pre-order if you actually like this.
If you like this, yeah. We got t-shirts and stuff too. You should check it out. We got some sales still going on. It is, you know, we got you. Just check us out. Ensorsale.com.
We're going to extend Black Friday through my birthday, December 12th.
Why don't you just do 70% a birthday? Off. Why don't you just do a birthday special?
Fine, it's a birthday special.
For you, yeah, instead of a...
We're going to make a birthday special on Ensorsale.com. Yeah. It's up to 70% off on the website.
We're doing a birthday special.
Check it out.
Yes.
Get cool designs like Stay Fit Forever, Gains Freak, Fluffy on the Inside, Bar Babe, Bar Bro.
All of those, you can check it out on our
Good
website.
Vibes Only.
That's right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.